Hello, Education 2301. Here is your week 2 explanation. We're going to be looking at academic diversity. So this is going to be stuff at the tier 1 level about research-based strategies. Then looking at gifted and talented, they are an exceptionality. A lot of times we don't think about that group, but there are different strategies to work with students who are labeled as gifted and talented. And then we're going to look at communication disorders. So in the checklist, there's 5 items that are listed about the lecture materials. We're going to explore our own learning styles. There's the assignment. You're going to sign up for your exceptionality fact sheet and then continue watching videos for the 8 hours due at the end of week 4. Here's lecture material over academic diversity and talent, gifted and talented. So here is a video about or a PowerPoint over multiple intelligences. This is a little Quizlet that you can go and do, and this is where you're going to match, like bodily kinesthetic is what kind of smart, those kind of things. So it's a way to practice that. Learning styles, what they are, lots of ways to look at it. You can look at the visual, auditory, kinesthetic. You can look at it left brain, right brain. You can look at it there's lots of ways, and I'm blanking on the third way. This one goes into visual, auditory, reading and writing, and kinesthetic. There's a Kahoot there. If we were all together, we would do it. Here's a video for gifted and talented. She does a really nice job. It's 10 minutes. This is in your field experience videos. You can find this one. It's 10 minutes long, and she teaches a gifted and talented 5th grade program. It's amazing. She really shows really great projects. There's 2 of them, and it shows how you bring in social studies and science and math. We need to teach interdisciplinary, which means more than one subject. We teach them separate, and a lot of times they depend on one another. More information, resources, TEAs, Gifted and Talented Education. What does that program look like in the state of Texas? It can be an additional certification that you can get. This lecture goes along with these 2 here. This is broken up into what it means to be gifted and talented, the definitions, and then strategies or ways to teach. Next is going to look at communication disorders. They break down into 2 types. There's language and there's speech. And so this one right here is this lecture right here. And so if you want to see the PowerPoint before you watch the video, the lecture video, you can. This is, I have it open, is language expansion, and this is with my daughter Mackenzie when she's about 20 months old, and it's how you can read her body language and what she wants to communicate, or the one-word phrases or the sounds she makes, and how I take that and I expand it. And so it's to model strategies working with friends who may have those needs. Here is another video over types of language and speech disorders. And then you may have friends, and sometimes someone may have an exceptionality that prohibits them from talking, but it doesn't impact their cognition. So an example would be, in these videos, show somebody with cerebral palsy. For some reason, the muscles in their throat don't work, or the coordination isn't there, but their brain is fine. And how do they communicate? So these are some other ways. We'll also talk about this when we talk about friends with autism who may not be able to communicate. Next is the academic diversity quizzes. Some of these are the same as in the lecture materials. What I want you to do, read through this reading right here, and then take at least 3 of these. So one's like a brain dominance quiz. Are you right-brained or left-brained? Different ways to look at learning styles. So take 3 of those just to get a better hint at ways you can teach. Then the activity is going to be a mind map. And so what a mind map is a graphic organizer. And so I've started you off there. You'll go to mind map. It's free. You can watch a tutorial. But a graphic organizer is one way that you can visually represent your thoughts. And so this is a great way to make connections. So I've started you off with a mind map. So communication language disorders, and they break off into language and speech. So like here's speech disorders, I put it right here. Here's language disorders, I put it right there. Then where's phonology? Is that a speech disorder or a language disorder? And what you do is, before watching the lecture material, you go in and try it out. Then you watch the lecture material and then you make a mind map, take a screenshot of it. You can download a PDF and then you'll submit the assignment for that. The other two things, go in to the special education fact sheet topic sign up and sign up. So what you're going to do is, Ashley's already done it, edit. Oh, Monique has too. And what I'm going to do is, because there's such a broad category, my scroller doesn't work on this. You'll go in and put your name to reserve the exceptionality that you want. The last thing is I want you to go in for your special education time log and journal. And I would go ahead and make sure you've watched at least 2 hours by the end of this week. And remember, you'll go in, you'll watch the video as it loads. And then you'll go back in and you will write a 3 to 5 sentence summary of what you learned and what it was about. And then at the bottom, at the end of 8 weeks, you'll go back, not 8 weeks, at the end of these 8 hours, once you've watched all of these, you'll go in and answer these questions. So that is your week 2 explanation. And good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.